Omar, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Abenyari.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. Yeah, just 1 minute time. Malanding Jaiteh, I think he will come.
Yeah, no,
Now,
was very funny last time, but big alhamdulillah is going good.
ila Fenkwa.
No laptop, no someone here.
Okay, I saw that. That's great.
Yeah.
Dear friends of the Gambia, greetings from your destination of choice, home to the island of Kunta Kinte and known for over 500 exceptional bird species. Be ready for adventures on the River Gambia, where nature caters to you sustainably as it meanders through endless experiences. Our rich, welcoming, and diverse cultures will show you the places closest to our hearts, delight you with our exceptional culinary taste and the local flavors, enchant you with state-of-the-art conference facilities, with luxurious accommodation that caters to your every need, considering your standards in an eco-friendly environment. Stay home today, travel tomorrow. We look forward to welcoming you all to our golden shores once again. From the Gambia, the smiling coast of Africa.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Hello, ex-team viewers. Omar, you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum once again, ex-team viewers of Gunjuru News Online. Welcome to another episode of daily COVID-19 updates. Omar is my guest today. And as you can see on the screen, the topic we'll be discussing is water and sanitation facts. And inshallah, Dr. Malanding Jaiteh, the advisor to the Environment Minister, should also join us. But as usual, we are right in the middle of a pandemic, even though the whole world now attention is the chaotic scenes in American cities. But we are right in the middle of pandemic, and this demonstration is not going to help our cause. You know, I can see a surge in new numbers, you know, in a week or so time because of the you have these angry protesters in close quarters chanting at the top of their voices. Yes, some have face masks, but majority of them have no face masks, and the close proximity, you know, you have super spreaders among those demonstrators. Is only going to make things worse. So basically what I'm going to do now is just to give you latest numbers about COVID-19. Then I will let Omar to start the program. Hopefully it won't take long before Malanding join us. COVID-19 emerged towards the end of last decades. To be exact, December 2019, and since then 6,429,172 people are infected. Out of that, 379,633 dead. This is about 10%, 7 to 8% mortality rate for a virus that is very, very high. The number of people who recovered from COVID-19 stands at 2,944,211. And this recovered population, without doubt, will help, countries to use their blood to transmit it into people with active infections that should help them to clear the virus. So far, number of people currently with COVID-19 infection is 3,105,358. And out of that, 98% of that total, the active total, 3,051,102 are in mild conditions. And 54,000 are in critical or serious conditions. And these are the people who need hospitalization, and not only hospitalization, but they need intensive care beds. Past 24 hours across the world, we have 65,976 new cases across the world and 2,423 dead. Out of that, America recorded 7,965 new cases past 24 hours and 543 dead. Brazil recorded 2,363 new cases, 106 dead, and Russia recorded 8,863 new cases, 182 dead, and Spain, the numbers are not yet out. UK recorded 1,653 new cases, 224 cases. Italy recorded 318 new cases, 55 dead, and India also probably the highest now. Every day for the past 2 years, for the past 2 weeks, they've been breaking their own national record, and the numbers are showing no sign of slowing down. India recorded 8,716 new cases past 24 hours and 221. This is higher than what America recorded. And Germany recorded 2,254 new cases, 21 dead. So countries that are very close to the Gambia, and that includes Senegal. Senegal past 24 hours, they recorded 97 new cases. That take their total to 3,844 cases so far. Ivory Coast recorded 68 new cases and 2,951 cases so far they recorded. Guinea-Bissau recorded 83 new cases past 24 hours and 1,339 so far. Mali recorded 36 new cases past 24 hours, and so far Mali recorded 1,351. And Sierra Leone recorded 34 new cases past 24 hours, and their total now stands at 881. And Sierra Leone recorded 31 new cases, and so far their numbers are 896. And Gambia still 25 cases we have. And coming to today, so Omar, welcome again to another episode of COVID-19 daily update. We really appreciate your time at Gunjur News Online, and I believe our viewers of Gunjur Online always like your presentations. Omar, you are talking about water and water sanitation facts. But if you look at Gambia, like River Gambia, more than half of River Gambia is fresh water.
Yeah.
And you look at places like Combo, some places are like Kartong, their water table is like maybe 3 meters. You get a fresh water. And you go to places like Nyomi, that's again the same. In fact, even in Gunjur, to get a well more than 10 meters. It's not long. But how comes we have a problem with water in the Gambia?
Well, we're going to start from the global perspective. If you look at it globally, you realize that over 50% of the world does not have access to safe drinking water. When we talk about safe drinking water, a water that is free from contaminants, a water that's free from microbials, a water that is easily, well treated for people to consume. Over 2.4 billion people does not have proper sanitation facilities across the world. So when you talk about that 50% of the world that does not have access to safe drinking water, a high number of these people are in sub-Saharan Africa, which include Gambia, Niger, Mali, and then other countries down the line in the continent. So coming down to the Gambian context, we realize that yes, there are reports like the UN Water Report 2013 that revealed that over 80% of the Gambian people have access to water supply. This is like pipe water in the KMC area, Greater Banjul area, another part of the country. They have also revealed that about 60% of the Gambian population have access to good sanitation facility. But if you wanna evaluate, if you wanna assess, if you wanna look at the distribution of this water supply, you will understand that it is unequally distributed in the country. Some part of the country does not also have access to water. Some part of the country does not have access to improved sanitation facility. So when you talk about water, why water? Why water is so important? Why do you want to base the discussion about water today? You will realize that yes, we're in COVID-19, but before COVID-19, people have to cook, people have to eat, people have to take shower. Imagine you wake up in the morning, you don't have access to tap that you can turn on the tap and then you just go into the shower to wash your body. Imagine you want to cook at home, you don't have water that you can cook your food with. Imagine, you just wake up with an line, there's a pipe bust somewhere, there's a water leakage somewhere, you doesn't have access to water to wash your hand in this COVID-19. Imagine how many women have to sit down at home because they don't have water supply to wash themselves properly due to let's say some other issues that they have down the line. So this is why we think it is very important, because if you look at the whole water situation in the Gambia from the NAWEC latest report, which is about 2017-2016 report, they have revealed that the Gambia have got about 69 operational boreholes in Greater Banjul area, which produces about 100,000, almost like 180,000, 110,000 cubic meter of water daily. So this is about groundwater, water that they draw from their boreholes in the Greater Banjul area to supply to Gambians who are living in Greater Banjul area. This includes the borehole in Gunjur, this includes the borehole in Brikam, this includes the borehole in Kotu area. But the main thing is that water supply reliable? Is that water supply affordable? Are we attending our development aspirations concerning the water situation in the Gambia at the moment? Because the reason why we want to evaluate all that water supply reliability, water supply affordability, and then how safe is Gambian water, the water that Gambian people drink, looking at the ones we draw from open well sources, looking at what we also drink from the borehole systems, are they safe enough? Because the WHO report 2016 revealed that over 62,900 Gambian people, over 62,900 cases was confirmed in the Gambia. That is literally waterborne diseases. You're talking about 62,900 Gambian people have it daily. So daily disability adjusted life years. This means the number of people who have to carry a disease burdened within their lifespan. Maybe they have diarrhea, or maybe they even have to die earlier. So you look at in the Gambia, if people have to live for 60 years and somebody happened to die at the age of 5 because of diarrhea or cholera or any of the waterborne diseases, which means that particular individual is deprived of about 40 years of their lifespan that they can live if they don't have any waterborne diseases in the particular country. We are seeing latest images of people who have to use donkeys to draw water from their well systems in the provincial part of the country. We are seeing local communities in the Gambia that have to rely on a communal, borehole system because there's no effective water supply or access to water that they can use for their drinking and their cooking. So this is why we think that today the topic is very important to look at how this Gambia can be able to advance its development aspirations to provide safe, reliable, and affordable water supply to the Gambian citizens, so that at least we can meet both our domestic use and as well as our commercial uses. How do we charge water in the Gambia? How can we maintain at least every Gambian person in the country can have that quality water that they can use to drink?
Yeah,
You're
Omar,
talking about the water table in the Gambia from Khartoum to Gunj, another part of the world. If you look at Gambia, have two main water sources. We have the surface water, that is the rivers, the River Gambia. We also have Atlantic Ocean. River Gambia, we only use River Gambia for consumption to drink because it has some salt in it. It's a brackish water in some part of the River Gambia. Some part of the River Gambia is fresh water, yes. But if you come down to some other part of the River Gambia that is connected to the Atlantic Ocean, it's salty. So nobody can use salt water to drink except and until if there is a proper water treatment mechanisms or water treatment plants in the country that can at least treat that water before people use it. If you look at the present water treatment in the Gambia, they use chlorine. It's like chlorination. If you go down to the Kotu Wamba, Kotu area, it's all about chlorination. But if you go down to like developed country, they have water treatment plants. So it's from this water treatment plants, they'll have like reservoirs. If they have reservoirs, they will draw water from their reservoirs to go to the water treatment plant and treat that water before they can send it in households. This is how they do in developed countries. But Gambia will depend predominantly on what? Groundwater from the sandstone aquifers in the Gambia. This is what we call the groundwater table in the Gambia. But if you look at the groundwater table in the Gambia, Gambia draws less than 1.5% out of the 6 cubic meter of water that we have of our renewable water source in the Gambia, potential water source in the Gambia. So which means at least we are way below the amount of water potential we have in the country.
Hello, Omar.
Yes.
Yeah, before you proceed, I want you to clarify what are the differences between chlorinating, treating water by chlorination and also water purification methods. If there is any advantages and disadvantages, I think the public will know, because I've seen people actually taking chlorine and put it in their wells. In fact, I've seen one, which I happen to actually start drinking. I know something is wrong. The chlorination was so high, you can test it, you can smell it, So is there any dangers or advantages between the two?
No, well, with the chlorination one, you want to put a chlorine into a particular water, like let's say in our own open well sources, so at least it can keep any potential harmful, pollutants in that particular water, microorganisms in that particular water. This is why even in but the water that people consume, even the pipe water in the Gambia, they have like chlorine cylinders. So they use these chlorine cylinders to really treat the water. Once, if you look at a water treatment plant, like let's say in the US here, they ensure that the water will go through various cleaning processes. They have to look at how many effluents are down there before they're able to discharge that water for people to consume. And then they draw their water from surface water from lakes and reservoirs. So the test of these two waters will be different, because if you happen to add too much of chlorine into a particular water before people consume, it's not going to be that much tasty for people to get. And instead of even enjoying the particular water, they might even have some sort of waterborne diseases, like let's say even diarrhea.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. What I just want to add something there. What Omar is explaining, like in water treatment plant, you have different stages. What they are testing is called the coliform. These are the E. coli bacteria and other pathogens that can cause diarrhea. So basically what they do, at different stage of purification, they will take a sample of water and put it on top of an agar plate. So this agar plate, depending on the number of bacteria that grow on it, they will do the calculation, what they call colony forming units. Then this will tell them, okay, this particular water is safe enough to drink or not safe enough to drink. There is a cutoff. When this colony forming unit exceed that, that is not safe. When it's less than that, it's not safe. So, but you go to Gunjur, where water's coming from. I'm not sure about Nawik, whether they even have a lab, equipped enough to test about these colony forming units. So I'm not surprised the numbers, the statistics you gave, like about 69,000 people suffer from waterborne diseases from across the Gambia. But I believe most of that will be up country. Where they draw their water directly from the river. You can proceed.
About the diarrhea, this is like a global report. So WHO will have like a country assessment report. And this country assessment report is the report that they got from, let's say, from the Ministry of Health or from the major health standards in the country, that will have like an aggregate number of how many people have waterborne diseases. And then the latest report that they have in their system right now is the 2016 report. So you look at all the data that they have down there's like in thousands. So Gambia was even so surprised that waterborne diseases like diarrhea account for like about 62,900 cases. So how they do that one, they look at what is the potential life expectancy in a particular country and how many people happen to die before that life expectancy. So I was kind of surprised. That is really, really shocking. And if you look at it in the Gambia Constitution, both the 1997 Constitution have attested that the Gambia government have to make substantial effort to ensure Gambian people have access to safe drinking water.
Omar, again, I want to comment because not directly working on a project that measure these waterborne diseases or diarrhea in the Gambian populace, but the same lab this project was running, I think in fact is underreported. This was in URR between 2010 and 2012. I say I lab with a project called GEMS. This is what GEMS were doing. They were documenting the number of diarrhea cases in that part of the country, and it was shocking to tell you the fact. It's shocking. Proceed, please.
Yes. So if you look at that thing from from a legal perspective, you realize that yes, in the Gambia in 1979, the Gambia was able to develop what they call the National Water Resource Council. And then the National Water Resource Council in the Gambia had enacted, let's say, the Water Resource Council Act. And from the National Water Resource Council Act, that was when we have the Gambia, Department of Water Resources in the Gambia was established in 1981. They come down the line. Now they have the PURA, who is PURA in the Gambia, dealing with the regulation of water. How do they do the water tariff? How do they do the water billing in the country? But, you look at it from the international conventions or treaties that the Gambia government have signed. Gambia government has signed the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights in 1976. But they ratified that covenant in 1978. The Gambia have also ratified the Convention on the Rights of People with Disability. They have also ratified the right of children. They have also, ratified Convention on Elimination of all forms of discrimination against women. So when you look at all this from a legal perspective, you realize that yes, who are the people who suffer most in terms of getting water? It's the ladies. They have to travel long distance from one particular part of the community to go down to the public well, to go down to the public tap, to go down to nearby boreholes that is owned by private individuals for them to have their water. And usually in the vegetable gardens, it's the local children who will go down to fetch water. So you look at all that thing. The Article 12 of the UN Convention on Cultural Rights, Article 11 says that all member countries should ensure that every citizen in that particular country, they have the right to adequate standard of living for themselves and for their children. And then nobody can have that high quality living standard without not having access to clean water. The Article 12 of that particular same covenant also stated that every country should recognize the right of every individual for them to attain to a higher standard of physical and mental health. So which means that water is very important, that the Gambia have to make at least a substantial progress to ensure at least there's affordable water that people can drink and there's proper sanitation in the country. This is something very, very important. We think that is very important today for us to come and address this issue. Yes, we have, NAVEC in the country, have Department of Water Resources in the country, you also have people in the country, all of which are having hands on the table, trying to ensure that at least Gambian people attain to water, for them to have at least, water, high quality water in the country for their local consumption. But,
Omar, can I chip in there? To again, just add something to what you just said. How, clean or dirty cleaning water can affect our mental and physical health. Well, we talk about physical health. If you have diarrhea, you lose a lot of weight, you lose a lot of water, and also you lose a lot of essential minerals. That can affect your mental development, and of course, your body need to raise immunoglobulin to fight off this diarrhea. So those immunoglobulin, they are proteins. These protein can be properly utilized in the development of your brain and your mental your mental health. So basically, if our waters are not clean, what it does is it takes vital protein, what the protein your body should be used, especially for children, to help you to grow, to develop your brain and others, will all be diverted to fighting of diseases. So that's why most of the time we have children who are stunted. They suffer from stunted crops, and research have shown that children who suffer from stunted crops tend to struggle, in their mental development. So these are the importance of water.
Yeah, I think this one is important. This portion first to come in the local language for the viewers, down there, because most of the time they are the ones that suffer a lot.
Yeah, thank you very much. Omar ya nyemmin fo komi jio na man jankwa kamineke akesa sandile and nisa sate kono e bay ika lose jio la bake mi alon ka siate ka dehydrate le yo mineka tinna balo ka jio retain no, there is a special pump mi alon ka be balo kono called in ka fay ko sodium pump. So nyin sodium pump nyin bacteria ko le compromise, so e ba jela ko jio nyin ka boyla interstitial fluids aka funti kata. So o jio nim protein, vital protein ani wole ka funti ni kono e bay anim vital ions le ka funta anim vital other minerals yon le ka funti, you just discard them. So ibalo fanang directly is losing vital nutrients. Abe lose come vital fengo, but at the same time fana ibalo have to divert the good protein puruka balola soldier or race puruka nying kurang nying kono bayo nying kelandi. So ni wo continent ala frequency siata reka ka dinni woni molo kuyandele andun dinni mola kuyar ngo jama bake is related jama babiji akela hakil dia nya ka affect le ka fomi la mental health development aka sendiko male. So it's a molje come here wulu the same time, dobe Africa, dobe Europe, near jibe la physical development aka bonyo koto andu ni bora nyokoto ni la mental development of fana ya follow ya study ba jere ke ka bonyo koto. So wala na WHO nyinku ke sula bake because ni molla physical ni la mental development ala nyato ta wo seta koma don wo banko kata koma because nyule ka mo sambanya yo nin kuran fanan keda fo banko e kodo bondi kete mario jara yo wo ka kodo ta banko fanan bula nyanta dundila kudol minto aka bondi woto la ke mo jara ron. So it's like a vice circle. You can proceed.
Yeah, in Bunda something about Bankola Colony because near GB World Bank la water UN la water reporting for 2013. Yeah, me review on the coming Gambia government coming Spain coming Japan Geo Nina quarter. It all reported me review was $1.7 million annually. Gambia government call a sponsor for water infrastructure in the country. But it come in GB international spending war is far more less compared like the ODA. ODA near GB call overseas development assistant. Like in the so the Bantal Banco de Bulo Kono, Wakata Kanya, Dola Kana GB, $5.67 million in Kolamuta, Bantal Banco di Gambia, put at least Nigerian Bunda, Promo use an instance na sanitation warning, Kenyani. So overall near GB, it's like in Tonella coming on the Jadi Kenya Bunda, Kele Banco Kam. Le plan la carola ma nyanda ka mesol halama di wala jiwe ka mimi wo fo se fenke wala because ba jara ji comme ni kono bay courant tente wala ji courant mi lan ka so din jiwe la carola mbol kala no because the number of marela and the number of diarrhea cases we're going to reach in the hospital will go down. That is going to minimize the budget that we're going to spend in the healthcare system. So this is where we do your economic evaluations. So even though we have the ODA, we also have to ensure at least the National Assembly in the Gambia, work in partnership with different water resources and the NAWEC to increase the government spending on the water infrastructure in the country and sanitation as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Because near BB, Jamari BJB, na Bangkok, in Navek Monica Polemo, so the Bangkok, because the Kajakom is a billion expensive bakery. So it can mean because now that they have what they call a block tariff system. What block tariff system when you need like operating yard? So I have agreement with so many people. Kajakom in Yendaka Banko, Karandil, a Johnny car tariff on Kenyadi, Bangkok. Pour que que Dieu même des cas use fait comme des cas job ou fait que Dieu min jo n'avec boulot kono n'avec que kuna mo kono là. That's very important because ne pure la Ila website in Bala GB. They have like the water tariffs. So 2020, let's water tariff down there is like you can consume between 0 to 10 cubic meters, you pay $5.50. If you use between 11 to 25 cubic meters, you pay $12. If you use between 26 to 40 cubic meters, you pay $16. But it's not the bill for more. If like let's say Saba, wala wule clean, depend on like imara correct now. But then Sanya new lemo Jonah, what is the issue now? They cannot come down a journey you have to pay the connection fee, you have to also pay the outstanding balance. But Sanya, for what do you mean use? If I charge one level or does it out way or for Joe they just come and read the meter. For me, you call the farmer who is there to check. For Jeremy use, meter or meter is faulty or what?
Yeah, Omar, can I comment on that?
Yes.
This is one area I know for a fact in Gunjur, they have one person to read all the meters of Gunjur and also to distribute all the bills. And this particular person, in fact, is not properly employed. It's what they call, he was locoming, something like that. I honestly believe, the people of Gunjur at least are being cheated because I'm paying an average of $1,000 per month.
Yes.
And you wouldn't believe the number of people with, outstanding outstanding water bill in Gunjur. And I don't know what's going to happen because if they want to disconnect all that, that's going to spell a disaster because most of our wells now uh, are not being used and they're completely out of use. So, Pura, I don't know what they're doing, but now work as far as Gunjur is concerned, I believe ko ibe mol kid kanne and na council or na parliamentarian inyanta make sure that they intervene on behalf of the community. Kajeko, we are properly treated. I think they are just guesstimating, what particular compounds should use. I don't know,
Okay.
but I don't believe they are reading all that meter. If they are reading, then water is very, very expensive. Yeah.
Near what Jive because another power report on you from top 2016 report on you coming for call, ila bohol German de Kebata Sunny. So near Gunji, like a German Gunji, during Baba, that's like a high turbidity test. So what to be doing who is concerned Molaka German world a German is safe for their consumption? Who is down that to make like at least that health examination and then making sure at least coming in German water they have been substantial progress in the water they use and they're more among any of the waterborne disease or illness in bank water. So if you're also talking about like the human component of it, is the government fulfill its national obligation, its statutory duty to ensure at least geo customer wall and they're able to afford it. So this is where we don't have like the policy dialogue. This is where we have at least debate. Geo use Banco Kanja is saved, it's reliable, and it's also affordable. Because that affordability in the command people should not be deprived of their own, let's say the national, law, constitutional, law. Can you come in usually because
Yeah, Omar, I will come and elaborate law fananto demanding. Near Gunjur la case jibe, kabrina da geofe public taps nyol sotole. But in public taps, instead of the area council paying it, because that's where we pay our rates and we pay our tax. Other communities, they will have enjoying this community tap for generations. But Kabrina te fe Gunjur, yeke in the street corners, so eco communities nyol fangwayajo. So basically, people tax themselves, coordinate. But within months, couple of months, all of them were closed because nobody was paying it. In public firm could be closely, so people have to have taps in their compounds and work communicate. Ila neighbors, this is a social dilemma. They will come to your house, and it a bailano. So it become a big problem. So it's just it's a fast, to be honest with you. because you bring a public tab, you say, okay, public fund you come it household minimum Gambia, they are not specific numbers. Even in house hold those charge la nyadi le don't charge nyadi le and motelo la je ka account near how many cubic of meters of water per day. So one other diamos CND in pumps or be close, within a couple of months they're not working.
Yeah, so kumara bank like I can like mulla geo ni so nyim banko ka wala o manya limited based on their like income status ni. So if you think about all those things, there's water inequality in the country because during the concentration, let's say, Glen Banyan area, Woji found that a bolon kono mark because Woji Kujama bolon kono mark on a minute Facebook follow back, colon jambale board, committee do fana bo le ko ka jie ko stand Senegal ma famale so ndol has banko mbe mu effort si ba ka wola ka ko banko di me Gambia I came mala le nyanto de ko ko jio ye wo so because banko di yurwa no banko tan no nyaat nin jimi mu jet mo wo so no pour ila minta ila do kultal and at least if I want to stand in tani. This is where we are basing the whole discussion today because ning jio man so no banko kan akwenye ka fenkele na it's like what a stress mine like a walla molla jadi kendani molla balwo ni ne na nasila so mine second walla mon dala ba jibe la ko ibe ko ni resta no nyani da because nya jibe with agriculture in the country depends on water because in every nation like Gambia is rain fed in the Gambia and Kawalata Gambia and Kadibeka depends on and from 1970 to recent climate change is expected over increased the rate of water storage in Africa. In the simple sense that there's going to be less rainfall in the country, there's going to be interseasonal changes in the rainfall pattern, and there's going to be higher evaporation in the country. So new work agriculture is going to seriously undermine. New work there's going to be food insecurity in the country. New work there's going to be livelihood insecurity in the country. And then our development aspirations in the country are going to be seriously undermined. So the one possible avenue will be the government have to spend their funding to the water sector. How do we ensure we strengthen the water distribution in the country? How do we ensure we improve the water infrastructure in the country? How do we ensure we respond to at least soft technology, as we call it in the water sector? That is, if there's any water leakage, if there's any water pipe burst, how do we ensure now the maintenance team are able to get down there on at least on an effective time, on a timely manner? How can citizens have a complaint hotline whereby if there's a water leakage somewhere, they can complain what there's a water leakage in so and so community, they need to be fixed? How can you also sensitize, educate the citizens to use their water effectively? If they are not using their water, let them shut down their taps. If there's any leakage, let them fix the tap heads. Because this is how they do it in most part of the developed country. How do you also at least provide a substantial tariff system between those who want to need the different water usages, people who want to use water for agriculture and people who want to use water for their household uses? So these are all important things that we need at least promote in the country. And we cannot have all these things unless the country have a robust water and sanitation framework in the country. So this water and sanitation framework, we look at how do we harness the water potential from the aquifers we have in the country, and as well as how do we distribute that water and ensure there's sufficient water for every Gambian in the country. So this is very, very important that, as Gambians, we have to focus our agendas on that, because the NAVIC report, revealed that the country have got about 1,004 water leakage cases in 2016. So how many cubic meters of water do we lost during 2016?
Yeah, and Omar, just to elaborate on that, why we have that, because what happened, you wouldn't believe, some of those pipes that busted is mainly Greater Banjul area, and these pipes have been laid since the colonial time. In fact, they are asbestos pipe. They've been replaced recently. it's just unbelievable. You look at the situation of Gambia. It's just you see all those beautiful houses, but underneath the ground is terrible. It's not uncommon to see those pipe-borne waters. And also, if there is a burst pipe, this network technician will capitalize to siphon some money from the locals, who are in desperate need so that they can come and replace. They wouldn't just come directly. They make sure they delay so they can put pressure on these people to induce them with some financial payment. It's just today somebody was reporting this in our Muslim high school class of 92 forum. I was like shocked. In fact, recently there have been a lot of wire cuts of Nawek, and you look at them, these are clean cuts, but somebody now is reporting, what, this has been done by Nawek, so they can use to take money. But that's for another day. But the water situation is really, really serious. And you also mentioned about the turbidity of water. I witnessed that myself in 2015 for the first time. I was shocked. And I thought actually that is gone. But then my last holiday again, I observed, nothing changed. So what now I know that they have a problem. Most of their boreholes are expired. Their lifespan, elapsed, and they should be condemned and replaced with new one. But because of lack of investment, the Gambians' life have been put on the have been put to risk because of the incompetence of our utility company, which is Nawek. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is why we think it's very important that we cannot have a proper healthcare system in the country if people did not have access to that safe drinking water. If we want to maintain sanitation, we don't mean like, everybody is yourself, daily, throughout your entire life. But, do you have that at least quality sanitation facility? How many people have proper shower systems in the country? Sometimes, yes, you can allude that amount of poverty, but then what is the government doing? What is the NGOs in the country doing? Trying to ensure at least we improve that situation. Gambia got its independence since 1965. What sort of progress are we doing to ensure at least there's at least a universal water coverage in the country? That at least every Gambian across the length and breadth of the country is able to have at least safe drinking water that they can afford at the end of the month. If they cannot afford, what kind of mechanisms do we have in place? Do we have any proper water, system do we have any proper water policy in the country that can kind of like poor households? How do we measure at least the household income of every individual family? So this is where you have that multi-sectorial collaboration, that multi-sectorial, at least research, and as well as findings, whereby we can come up with like some tangible, agreement that what, yes, Gambian people, some of them are poor people, or Gambian people, yes, they can afford to pay the water, but are we giving the right bill? Or Gambian people, they are complaining that the water bill is so expensive. How do we try to address the situation? Yes, Gambian people in the Great Banjul area, they have like at least a huge coverage of like improved water sources. But Gambians who does not have improved water sources like those in the provincial part of the country, they have to use like open well sources, which are highly not protective. How do we ensure at least those have like improved water sources? How many boreholes do we have in the provincial part of the country? These are something very, very important. How do we ensure in our schools, every elementary school, junior high school, senior high school in the Gambia have effective water supply? How do we ensure their toilets are clean enough? This is where we have the sanitation component. Because sanitation cannot only happen at households, but Gambian people have to go down to their office. Gambian people have to go down to their school, be it a madrasa, be it like the conventional formal education system. How do we ensure there are proper toilet systems down there for sanitation? Because you cannot go to school, you want to use the toilet is all messy. Who is down there to evaluate, to assess, to have that regulation down there? You know what? Every school in the Gambia is well protected in terms of like sanitation for their bathrooms and their toilet that they use. The place that they used to pee and the place that they used to use themselves. Will that go under the Ministry of Education? Does the Ministry of Education have to work hand in glove with NAWEC to do that? So this is where we think is very, very important for us to be able to at least discuss and then come up with like some of those recommendations to see how best do we strengthen the water and sanitation system in the country. If the boreholes are aging, we need to ensure they are repaired. If the pipelines in the country burst sometime, how do we ensure we assess periodically those pipelines? How do we ensure we fix water leakages? What sort of like enumeration are we going to provide for the people who are responsible for that one? How much are we going to pay them? Because we want to have at least a good salary scheme that can take care of the people working in the water sector. We need to have at least qualified government personnel who can periodically assess the pipeline of water in the country. We need to have people who can also repair the aging boreholes. And all of those things, the institution responsible, they don't have the equipped financial capability, financial support to do this kind of maintenance. Because once the pipelines are repaired, once we ensure that there's no water spillage, that is also going to ensure that people have a responsible, water consumption, attitude in the country. So therefore, the bottom line is the government in collaboration with development partners, they need to improve the investment on borehole replacement in the country. They need also upscale the presence of boreholes and public taps in most part of the country, including both the public and private, including both the rural and urban areas in the country. So this is very important. I think the government of the Gambia need to start looking at how do we ensure on the privileged families got the necessary support in terms of water and sanitation. Can there be any safety net program whereby there can be political commitment, there can be policy engagement to implement a strong water program in the country? And even the subsidized families that are like below the income level, people who can afford their bills, how do we ensure we subsidize for those people too, to avoid issues like disconnection? Because water is very important. If most of these people does not have the money to be able to pay for their water, at the end of the day, they're gonna go out of it. So once they go out of it, they're gonna go back like on improved source of water. So this is why we think that it's very important for Gambia to have at least a reliable water supply, for the countries to have at least a safe drinking water for all its population, for the people who have to have that cross-country water, water harvest, and they have to go down to Senegal to get some water and come back to the Gambia. Like we see one of the small video on Facebook. Yes,
Omar, thank you very much. And our viewers, you can call in. I think the number is here is +220-9433-419 WhatsApp. If you want to contribute, or if you have answers. Omar raised some very, very pertinent questions here, which we all have a stakeholder in. So if you have an answer to any of those, what can we do to make sure that entire country, Gambia is still under 2 million people, and we have a very, very significant amount of fresh water bodies that all we need is a good water treatment plant. And you come into Greater Banjul, which is the economic hub of the Gambia. Even those ones, we cannot guarantee all of them safe drinking water. What can we do to make sure that these pertinent issues are solved? And if you've been here from the start, Umar highlighted the importance of safe drinking water, because these have some health implications, both physical and mental health issues. So they are as important as anything in our life, and these can be the difference between how somebody will excel at school or not. So these have economic and developmental issues, implications, that if we don't solve the water issue, we can even say bye to development and progress. So if you want to contribute, you can call +220-9433-419. Omar, you can proceed. We have like 7 minutes, and that will be it. So so you can start winding down.
Yeah, so basically we realized that the Gambia government have made, some substantial progress of ensuring that 80% of the population in the Gambia, they have access to tap water. And majority of the boreholes in the Gambia, which is about 69 operational boreholes in the country, that produces about 110, thousand cubic meter of water daily, is mostly, concentrated in Greater Banjul area. So based on that one, we think that at least that inequality in water distribution in the country, people in the rural part of the Gambia, they also need to have at least water supply. They also need to have effective sanitation facilities in the country. The daily losses we have in the Gambia, which is about 62,900 cases, has reported by WHO, is seriously something that the government have to investigate and see how best Gambian people are not going to have waterborne diseases like diarrhea in the country, or at least minimize that rate. That is something very important because Gambian people need water for cooking. We need water for our sanitation facility. We want to take shower. We want to use water for our agricultural needs. How do we ensure those waters are all treated? How can we tap in the River Gambia freshwater body to ensure those who are located along the river bank of the country have their water needs from the water body? How can we also ensure that there's climate change going on? There's going to be less rainfall in the country. There's going to be interseasonal rainfall variations. How do we ensure Gambian farmers in the country can have at least reliable water supply for the agricultural needs? There's going to be rainfall pattern is going to change. There's going to be higher temperatures, which is going to affect the rate of evaporation. Surface waters are going to start drying up. So if that happens, there's going to drought. And if there's drought, there's going to be hunger in the country because there's not going to be any water to support the agricultural need of the local farmers. How do we think along that line to ensure at least there's efficient and abundant water supply for the Gambian needs, both for domestic and as well as for our industrial needs? But above all, how do we ensure that water is affordable for every household or for every individual for their purposes? We have got the national laws in the country. We have the National Water and the Water Resource Council, which was enacted in 1979. We have Department of Water Resources in the country. We have NALEC. We have PURA. These are all national regulatory body and then the service providers in the country. But do we attain to our development aspirations? Do we have 100% achievement or do we have 90% achievement? How do we ensure those are sustainable? How do we ensure they are effective and reliable? This is where our citizens will engage each other and ensure there's policy intervention to ensure at least every Gambian people is able to afford the water they consume for their cooking, for their drinking, and as well as for their other needs. How do you also meet that? It's kind of noisy down there. How do we also ensure at least we meet our international obligations? Because if you look at the national laws, yes, we have the national laws in the country, but we also have some international commitments. And those international commitments are the Gambia have ratified the International Covenant on Economic and Social and Cultural Rights. The Gambia have also ratified the Convention on the Rights of People with Disability. And people who are party to all this convention, they have a responsibility to ensure at least every citizen in this country, they enjoy the highest standard of physical and mental health. So we think it's very, very important as a country, we zero in, our goals. How do we talk? How do we ensure we engage our responsible authorities to ensure they do those kind of implementation of these programs in the country?
Yeah, Omar, you mentioned a lot of convention. In fact, you mentioned some regulatory bodies which have been around since 1973. I never knew we have those. But I have one final question because we have 2 minutes and that will be the end of the program. Is the OMBG, project, how do you think this will impact on the supply of fresh water to the upcountry?
Well, I have not gone too much into. I think I have one time scanned through their paper. My concern was, have they conducted any social and environmental impact assessment? How is that water? How is that the project going to affect the water issue in that particular area? Yes, we can build like dams in the country, but how is that going to affect especially the people that are located in a particular area? How is that going to affect
Yeah.
the environmental ecology of that particular area, ecosystem of that area? So
Yeah.
that was my concern, and I think we're going to save that question till in our number future discussions where we
Discussion.
look at that particular paper and be able to extensively examine the implication on the environment as well as on the livelihood of the people.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much, Omar, for your time once again. And our esteemed viewers, we are back here again on Friday. That is World Environment Day, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, World Environment Day is on the 5th, Friday, the same time, 6 o'clock Gambia time, and 7 o'clock UK time, and 2 p.m. Eastern time in the US. We'll have a panel discussion. Omar will be here. We believe Farmer also will be here. We'll speak to Dr. Malanding. For some reason, he's supposed to be here, but he's not. Basically what Gunjur online is trying to achieve is also to add our voices to the national development, and more emphasis on issues emanating from Combo area, because this is the what especially what they call the Combo Santo. We have a lot of social issues, and if we don't talk about them, they will never be solved. So that's why we're here. If you have an idea, or you think there is something you need to present, you can get to Gunjur News Online. And also, if you have an article to publish about these issues, some people are good at writing, some are good at presentations, all what you are good at, we accept articles and all that. And also, if you have a small business or any kind of business in the Gambia, or especially in this part of the world, and you want Gambians to know what you are doing, we offer free adverts, one couple of minutes clip of whatever your business is or your CBO. You can bring it here. We can advertise it for you. Thank you, Omar. Till Friday. And to the viewers, please share these videos so it can get to as many people as possible.
Thank
Allah
you.
Barak.